As-Salaam Alaikum and welcome to Muhammad's Economic Blueprint. This is a mini-series presented by the 9 Ministries of the Nation of Islam, the Ministry of Science and Technology, and the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. We are very happy to have you on for the first episode of the mini-series, Muhammad's Economic Blueprint. But before we begin, we would like to open up as we are taught within the Nation of Islam, and that is by calling on the God to ask Him for anything we do of value to be successful. So at this time, we call to prayer, and please take a moment with us. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful. Master of the Day of Judgment in which we now live. Thee do we serve, and Thee do we beseech for Thine aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after hearing Thine teachings. Ameen. Praise be to Allah. Again, thank you for tuning in today. We do hope that you like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, NOISRMOST, and that is the Ministry of Science and Technology, and also share this live stream now and continue to share for the mini-series. We're very happy to have you on today, and I would be remiss if I do not take the time to thank Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharrieff Muhammad of the Southern Region for giving us this platform in the 9 ministries of the South and allowing me to come forward for this particular event and those who will follow, representing the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. So we thank you, Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharrieff, for this wonderful opportunity. And so tonight we have 2 special guests. We've mentioned them before, and if you've seen our flyer, we have Brother Khalid, who will be representing the Ministry of Science and Technology, and Brother Charbrian, who will be representing the Ministry of Trade and Commerce for this special mini-series, Muhammad's Economic Blueprint, Black Students of Science and Business. So before I begin, I would like to take a quick second, and bear with me, family, and speak a little bit about what Muhammad's Economic Blueprint is. And for those who do not know, this is the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And in every issue of the Final Call, you can find what the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. And this is the cornerstone of the Nation of Islam. And you can also find in the publication in the book, Message to the Black Man in America, a comprehensive description of some of those things laid out in what the Muslims want and believe. So within that, there is the section of Message to the Black Man titled Program and Position. And I'm going to read from the chapter, An Economic Blueprint, on page 173. It reads, "The black man in America faces a serious economic problem today, and the white racist Christianity cannot solve it. You, the so-called American Negro, with the help of Allah, can solve your own problem. Truth must be recognized by the black man. He himself has assisted greatly in creating this serious problem of unemployment, insecurity, and lack. Before the black man can begin to gain economic security, he must be awakened from the dead and gain knowledge, understanding, and wisdom, which will enable him to follow my teachings. Islam, and only Islam, will point the way out of entanglement and want in the midst of plenty. For the followers of Islam, the true religion of the black nation." On this same chapter, on the second page, it reads, "This requires action and deeds, not words and lip service. The following blueprint shows the way. 1. Recognize necessity for unity and group operation activities. 2. Pool your resources, physically as well as financially. 3. Stop wanton criticisms of everything that is black-owned and black-operated. 4. Keep in mind jealousy destroys from within. And 5. Observe the operations of the white man. He is successful. He makes no excuses for his failures. He works hard in a collective manner. You do the same. If there are 6 or 8 Muslims with knowledge and experience of the grocery business, pool your knowledge. If there are those with knowledge of dressmaking, merchandising, trades, maintenance, pool such knowledge. Praise be to Allah. And you can follow along in Message to the Black Man in the program and position section for more related to the economic blueprint, the 3-year economic savings plan, and many other things related to the Nation of Islam and our rise as a people. So now with that theme laid out, and will continue to be laid out throughout the miniseries, let us please welcome on our wonderful guests for the evening, Brother Khalid and Brother Chabrian. Praise be to Allah. I'm so glad to have you on. So I don't want to take up all the runtime. So if we could have a brief introduction from each of you, and I want to give the greetings, of course, on behalf of Student Regional Minister to you both, Brother Khalid. So As-Salaam Alaikum.
Alaikum, sir.
Alaikum. Return the greetings.
Yes, sir. I definitely will. So, family, if we could, we can do pick a number between 1 and 10 or something like that. But whichever of you wants to go first, please give us a brief description of yourself, how long you've been in the nation, and what it is that you do.
Okay.
Brother Khalid, I'm gonna let you take that.
Okay, yes, sir. All right. As-Salaam Alaikum. My name is Brother Khalid Muhammad. I was born into the nation, and I would say my purpose right now, I'm in the science and technology ministry currently, and I'm currently enrolled in North Carolina A&T with plans to become a food scientist, and that's pretty much it right there.
Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. And Brother Chabrian.
I'll say As-Salaam.
As-Salaam
Alaikum, my brother Charles. I've been in the nation coming on to 3 years now, I want to say. Yeah, I graduated 2020, so 2-3 years now. And in describing myself, I'll say I'm in the right place of the Ministry of Trade and Commerce. That's my whole dealing. Anything that involves business and helping the people, that's where you're gonna find me at. So, right, like the brother said, right about now, that's what my purpose and passion is as it is now. And I'm an entrepreneur, but I like you said, we're gonna keep it short for now.
Yes, sir. We don't want to give the audience too much.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I have both of you wonderful brothers on, and the audience has your attention, or you have their attention. Forgive me. Right. And so we want to continue on in this interview process, and so they can learn more about what it is each of you do and how you represent your respective ministries. So the first question that I would like to ask you is, how did you get involved in the 9 ministries? And that's up for either of you, or specifically to your ministry. How did you get involved in the ministry that you're representing tonight? We'll start with Brother Khalid.
Okay. Yes, sir. So how I got involved with the 9 ministries, it started with a group called Demand for Separation. That's where I know a lot of the brothers and sisters that are currently in the 9 ministries. And one of the brothers by the name of Brother Taki, he gave me a call about the 9 ministries, and then he told me all about it, what was going on, the fact that it was just starting up, and then he told me everything about it. I was interested in it. Once I got into it, that's when I was in the group chats, and then I saw the different branches that they had, like the science and tech. So that's how I got into the 9 ministries and joined the science and tech ministry.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. You said Brother Taki?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Shout out to him. He's in the 9 ministries as well, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. And Brother Chabrian, same question to you. How did you get involved in the 9 ministries and within your specific ministry?
Originally, I got pulled on to the Ministry of Justice, and I got pulled on by a young fireball from Columbus by the name of Brother Hashim. And Brother Hashim pulled me on because I told him I was trying to find something more to do, in the nation and trying to help my nation. And he mentioned the 9 ministries and how it was going to be a youth-based thing. And like when we finally started up, he pulled me on to the Ministry of Justice. I helped him best I could in that department for a while, and then I moved on to Ministry of Trade and Commerce, being that it fit into, you know, my God-given skills and talents, I feel more.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And I want to follow up with that. Give me 1 second. Something that was on my mind when I looked at the leaderboard for the interviews is, you know, how is it that your work in your ministry relates to helping the community or relates back to the theme of Muhammad's economic blueprint? So this time we can start with Brother Charbrion. How does working in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce relate back to some of the descriptions that we mentioned at the opening for Muhammad's economic blueprint? And specifically, how are you all helping the community?
I say, firstly, my first point in the economic blueprint was being recognizing the necessity for unity and group operation. And that's exactly what we're doing here now in the 9 ministries. As you know, as you can see now, we got 2 different ministries on the line. Through this, we're also spreading information, because one of the things that sparked the light bulb, brought the light on in my head from coming into these teachings, was when that word reached me, it flipped the switch to the point where I didn't realize how many of my regular day activities could have easily revolved around business and could have been what's the word I'm looking for? A more halal way of making money, a more righteous way of making money. And like I said, in the simplest way to put it, the minister turned the light back on in my head. This ministry, because the minister was the original ministry for me. You know, he's the Ministry of Spiritual Development. That's the head of the Ministry of Spiritual Development. But yeah, he more or less sparked the thought in my mind. And from that point on there, and my embarking in this journey of trade and commerce, I go to my people, and when I'm talking to them, coming from where I know some of them have been out in the streets doing whatever you're doing, pushing whatever you may be pushing, I just wanted to let them know. I try to show them how easy you can go from the wrong side to the right side with the same hustle mentality that they may have now. Business, we'll say hustle mentality, because it takes something to go from a hustler to a businessman. So what we're doing now in the ministries, I'm a part of an organization here in Albany called Community Builders. And it's a group of older brothers. They got a lot of activity. They work with the grassroots in this area, Albany, Georgia. And they're bringing on some youth. And so when they told me they were bringing on youth, I already had in mind, we got the 9 ministries full of young people, as well as, like you said, grassroots. I'm going to go to the younger people I know in this area looking for something different, who getting burned out from working these 9 to 5s and making peanuts, you know. And once the minister once that light is on in your mind, I can't go to any job space and not look around and realize how much money is probably being made in the area and different things along those lines. So as it stands now, I'm just giving information out to the community. And I try to do little things like one of my businesses is lawn care. That's what I'm, really full-time lawn care. And as I'm out there, we do property management more or less sometimes. So sometimes we're going from straight cutting yards to raking up yards to cutting down certain things, planting stuff, cutting down trees. It's a lot, hanging up lights, all types of stuff.
Sir.
And in those little mundane activities, I just try to go get, it's a young brother. I want to say I had worked with me once. He was like 12, Before that, I've had brothers, around my age who just looking for something to do, but it's a little money in their pocket. And it's just showing them, hey, ride with me for 30 minutes and I'll show you how we can make $150 in 30 minutes, as opposed to your 5-8 hour shift where you're not going home with nothing but 80. And like I said, that alone rocked my world. That took me out of the matrix because somebody showed me rather than tell me. And like you said, the most Elijah Muhammad said, people want to show me religion. They don't want to tell me religion. So I hope I answered the question. I hope I didn't get too off key.
Praise be to Allah. No, I thought it was absolutely beautiful.
Praise be to Allah.
It reminds me of Student Regional Minister Abdul Sharrieff, how he wants to put the youth out front. And so that's why many of us are in the 9 ministries. And just like you said, bringing on our brothers who are maybe in a similar situation that we may find ourselves in or completely different. And you want to bring them into the light and understanding. So praise be to Allah. And working, as you said, to help the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So Now I want to ask the same question to Brother Khalid. So anything related to how the Ministry of Science and Tech fits into Muhammad's economic blueprint, as well as aiding the community.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, the first thing that we're currently working on in the Ministry of Science and Tech is the telehealth project. Now, what the telehealth project is, it basically allows believers to connect with I would say doctors in the community, different physicians in the community, and it provides them with counsel and advice, and it's an easier way to connect the two. And we started this project with the Ministry of Health, the Ministry of Health, and that's currently what we're working on right now to help the community. And yes, sir.
Praise be to Allah. So you said telehealth project.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's really big. I can say, continuing on, some people think the pandemic is over, but as we see, everything continues to develop and change, and sometimes it'll be low points, and people will say, let's go back to interacting with one another inside buildings, no mask, and then the next minute they're saying, you shouldn't walk outside unless you fully protected, fully guarded
Yes,
up. Yes,
it's
sir.
always changing. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, it would continue to mutate and continue to spread. So I think that's amazing for the Ministry of Science and Technology.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I want to switch gears just a little bit and kind of go back to the basics. If I could ask each of you, and we wanted to prepare something for you. So if you could tell us about the Ministry of Trade and Commerce and the Ministry of Science and Tech. So, Brother Khalid, we'll let you start off first. What is the Ministry of Science and Technology?
Yes, sir. So the Ministry of Science and Technology is the continuous development of technological resources, which is the application of scientific knowledge to the solution of human problems. The ministry embraces the broad disciplines of engineering as well as subdisciplines, including civil engineering, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, aeronautical, as well as mechanical. The ministry also utilizes information technologies to improve the efficiency of every ministry included, as well as websites, the webcasts, things like that, where it's connected to everything in that realm.
Praise be to Allah. So, in your own words,
yes, sir.
From what you've been doing in the Ministry of Science and Tech, how would you describe it to someone?
How would I describe the Ministry of Science and Technology?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yes, sir. I would describe it as us furthering the development of science and tech to pretty much help the Nation of Islam as well as our people that are still out there in the streets. So I would describe it kind of like that, to help us in different ways. Like the main definition said, with chemical engineering, civil engineering, the fact that we building, like, it's roads being built, the chemicals that you use probably on your daily household appliances, cleaning things like that. It's all ties into science as well as technology, like the NOI.org website. It's all tying in together.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
And same thing for the Charbrion. How about the Ministry of Trade and Commerce?
I usually like to start from the minister's words. The Ministry of Trade and Commerce is responsible for the growth and development of the business and economic, interests of the society. The ministry is dynamic in nature, relying on the input of consultants with experience and success in business and economics. I'm gonna stop there for the moment. Building on what, and then as you said, putting it in our own words, I would like to go into that word business. The minister also teaches us, when he speaks on business, he said, what is business? He said, business is satisfying the needs of the people and a manner which pleases God. And so that definition, once again, rocked me: satisfying the needs of the people in a manner which pleases God. When you're looking at trade and commerce, commerce is any type of interaction in which you get a reciprocal income, but it's the same within trade, which is I give you one thing, whether that be a service, a product, or in some cases even information, and you give me something on the other end, something that I need. And so using it as an example of what we're doing here in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, at some point we're trying to put together a program that we're also trying to put it together locally as well, where we I've had a lot of experience, like I said, commerce wise, and it's a simple process. It's just you'll realize that we don't think on that. We don't think in that capacity. So I may go stop at a gas station anywhere really in America right now, and I may see a young black man standing in front of that gas station selling who knows what. And he gonna approach me, he gonna ask me, hey, you good on X, Y, and Z? And that right there is really the making of we can almost say a millionaire. But not even we're not gonna take it to the purpose of money. But I'm saying that brother there alone could probably feed his family and start a whole business with that tenacity he has, being able to stand in front of the corner store. He think when I come up into this corner store, I'm looking for some type of something, other than what's in this store, and he's there trying to satisfy that need. So I've went into that in different ways. I've sold iPhone chargers because I realized satisfying the needs of the people in a manner which pleases God is this. I noticed everywhere you go at least in my city, you're not going to get an iPhone charger for cheap. And learning that, I went to go find if I could buy them wholesale for a cheaper price. Once I did that, I sold them, hand to hand for a while. And then I started working with some of the corner stores in the area and selling them wholesale to them that way. And so what I ended up doing, I kept that same mentality with different products. And with those different, whether it was watches, necklaces, I done did it with all types of things, all types of stuff. And I'll go to a brother who may be working a 9 to 5 and don't really hear what I'm saying when I'm telling him about doing for self. Because he don't want to, as he say, some people don't want to pedal. Some people just want to invest. Some people have certain skills. They don't see their way of being able to do the steal away method, going from where they are to where they need to be. And so here in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce right now, we're just trying to show them, the way that you can do it. So one thing that we do now is if we do have a program and maybe an idea or a product coming up, we'll give you the chance to invest in it. But we're not just going to take your money and say, hey, we'll holler at you in a couple months. Maybe your money will be there. Nah, it's not going to be like that. But what we do is we show you it's called a business plan, a proposal more or less. We show you how much we're going to get the product for. We show you how much we plan on selling it for. We show you your buy-ins. And it's just, it's pretty dynamic. But, and like as the minister said, it's pretty dynamic. It can go in all different types of ways. And I'll round it off by saying this, even what Brother Khalid was speaking on with the telehealth.
Yes, sir.
On the telehealth apparatus, our science and technology in general. That is a big part of let's just say the progression of Black people as a whole, because there's no foothold or regulation on technology. If you have the skill, nobody can really stop you. There's things they can there's certain licenses you got to get for certain things when it comes into the business field, certain insurances you got to have and stuff like that. With technology, it goes hand in hand with commerce, and it turns into something called e-commerce. And at that point, e-commerce is as simple as something that we all know is Amazon. It's a simple way to get products to a whole network of people while you sit in the one place you are. And that's where the Ministry of Trade and Commerce will come in. I come in and I find a brother like Brother Khalid who's adequate with technology, and he got a whole team ready to make the website, ready to make the app for us. Then I go to a brother, let's say a brother in the Ministry of Agriculture, and I'm gonna put that brother with them two together. Okay, every time eggplant pop out that soil, I need you to let us know so we can update the website. That's Ministry of Trade and Commerce. And that's, once again, it really comes down to the demonstration we're trying to give to people. Because one of the things we are into, and that was at the end of our definition, I'm sorry that I skipped over it, but at the end of the definition of the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, it says one of the things we do is we push education. We do want to, at some point, we're going to have to work with the Ministry of Education so that we can promote entrepreneurship and show that it has many ways. Entrepreneurship is not just I own the building and I'm in that store every day. That's not the same. I had to learn that the hard way. That's at that point you're self-employed. You're not an entrepreneur per se. So it's different levels to it. And there's a lot of education that comes into it that I've come to learn by the grace of Allah.
Yes, sir. And praise be to Allah. Thank you for both of your answers. Man, Brother Sharrieff, you must have been reading my mind, because I was about to get into that very question. And so I do want to ask, how do you see the Ministry of Trade and Commerce and the Ministry of Science and Technology working with education? How do you educate people not only about what the ministry is or necessarily a specific engineering discipline or a specific product or how to sell a specific product? How do you educate people how to go and be someone involved in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, or be a businessman, be an entrepreneur, be a scientist, be an engineer? How do you answer that question? How do you educate someone to do that? Or what are your plans for educating for someone to do that?
Was the question directed at me, or will we?
It's open on the floor, yes, sir. You can take it if you like.
You can take it, Brother Charbrian.
Okay, I say I don't want to be the one. I don't want to talk too much. I don't want to,
Yeah,
but
bro.
no, all I was going the question you said, because you said it's not really about. I'll say it like this: if we could use other ministries as an example as well, it falls more into what is your skill or passion, because our gift, I guess, that gift kind of is synonymous with skill, I feel like. But within those three things, passion is going to motivate you to want to learn more about whatever ministry it is you may go into. Once you get information, understanding what the ministries do, that passion is going to motivate you to come in and play whatever role you have to play. Whether that be, hey, brother, can you help us out? But you may come in and you may not be ready to be the engineer, or you might not be ready to be the negotiator, or the business proposer, or whatever the case be. But if we need you to transpose the notes for us, so we make sure we can stay organized, and you're good at typing, it starts out just that small, because now you're in the right environment to learn more information and to soak up what you need. And as time goes on, you'll know which place you're supposed to fall in. You know where you can fall in, because your skills, your gifts, and your passion will just be manifest after so long.
Yes, sir.
So and like you said, just within science and technology and trade and commerce, I want to say a good example of explaining to them how that would work would be similar to, because the 9 ministries reflect very similar to the United States different departments, I think would probably be a way to say that, because is that the better way to put it? You got a Department of Justice, Department of Education, Department of this, that, and the third.
Yes, sir. Well, on a national level, right? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
They
Go
are, as the minister said, you can find this on the website, NOI.org, and go to the Ministries tab, but a full and complete description. And I won't quote, because I will not say that I'm speaking the minister's words verbatim, but he speaks about the ministries ministering unto the people, being servants to the people, and helping to aid building a nation. So yes, sir, you're correct in that.
Yes, sir. So I just use that example because a good example is the Ministry of Trade and Commerce will work with, or the Department of Trade and Commerce, let's say in America, will work with the Department of Agriculture, and making sure that once the farmers in the U.S. raise so many crops that they can export them to another country. So all right, that's the major scale. We can bring it down to a minor scale. The brother said they're doing telehealth. At that point, now it's within our parameters. We have to go and find a way to bring that to the people and get them accommodated for that, truthfully, and that's another part of it. We do want to help our people. We're not in the business to make money. We're in the business to satisfy the needs of the people. But we know, as the minister teaches us, the pearl is in the fish's mouth. So as we take that to the people, we're gonna find a way to be accommodated for it. If it ain't nothing but a $10 a month subscription plan, so that you can call whenever you need, and that way we make sure doctors and whatnot are accommodated. It's a moving wheel. So as we step into it, you got to play it by ear to some extent. With the knowledge that you do have, it's pretty comprehensive. And working with, again, the Department of Education is really just training those up who want to know what the next step is. That's as far as I understand education. When I go into education, that's what I'm looking for: a certain information, a certain skill set, for you to bring me on under somebody who knows what it is I'm trying to do. So,
yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. Okay, I turn the same question over to you, Brother Khalid.
Yes, sir. So I would say a way to educate the people, a way would be to be relatable in a sense. So for me being in the science and tech ministry, I know that it's things like I said earlier, mentioning with the chemicals that you may use or the different foods being relatable. Like, okay, you eating this food every day, why not have a healthier option? And like, do you know what's in the food, certain things like that? Or if I go to say my brother's in the trade and commerce, just like Brother Charbrion, he might have a business or a business or a store he might need. He might need cybersecurity. That's in our department as well. So I'm telling him, okay, this is how you with the cameras. This is how you set it up like this. This is everything you need to do. So I would just say being relatable to the people that you're teaching and showing them why they need this specific thing that they're that we're teaching.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And as you say, it goes into not only the actual products, but how the products function. Like the telehealth website, you have not only providing aid in the means of giving scientific information,
yes,
with
sir.
the means of health information. I know Brother Khalid is a food scientist, but also getting into how the website functions or how to connect people. So, yes, sir, the Ministry of Science and Technology is far-reaching in that. And I'll only expound because Brother Khalid and myself are actually in the Ministry of Science and Technology, in that working with the Ministry of Education and providing schools and things like that. Brother Khalid, I know you helped out on that fundraiser event that was in the Ministry of Science and Technology this past year. So, and that was for education in Muhammad's University of Islam. So, praise be to Allah. All right, family. So at this time, I don't want to run the nail into the very ground, but these two brothers have been, lighting up the airways tonight, teaching on what it is the Ministry of Science and Technology does and what it is the Ministry of Trade and Commerce does. I'm thoroughly pleased with what they've provided. The audience has been chiming in as well. And so thank you both for all of that you have provided tonight. The last thing that I would like to ask is that how can someone get involved in the Ministry of Trade and Commerce or the Ministry of Science and Tech? I do have your Instagrams because that's how I found you. But is there any other information you want to provide to see to get connected to either of the ministries? So, Brother Khalid, I do have. Here's the Instagram, correct, for Ministry of Science and Technology.
Yes, sir.
Do you want the audience to also have your information if they would like to reach out to you?
Yes, sir. They can have my information as well.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did you want to provide a phone number?
Yes, sir. You could provide the phone number. It's 678-262-8935. Yes, sir.
Yes,
I would
sir.
say a good way to just if anybody would like to get interested into the ministry would be to DM the IG that is right here, or you can text my phone or call me as well. We'll get you in the group me, set everything up, introduce you. We have weekly meetings discussing the plans that we do regarding the telehealth and certain other things that we might be working on. And yes, that's pretty much it, how you can get in contact.
Yes, sir. 678-262-8935.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Praise be to Allah. All right. So you heard him. Go ahead and reach out to either Brother Khalid or the NOISR most Instagram and get connected with the Ministry of Science and Tech. And for the Ministry of Trade and Commerce, yes, sir. I believe this is what I have on file. Yes, sir. Ministry of Trade and Commerce Instagram. Yes, sir. Go ahead and reach out to them. And if you did, we want to ask if you wanted to provide any other information so people can reach out to you specifically, all that you do, helping your community, getting the young brothers in line with you in trade and commerce.
I don't know if you got my number on file per se, but they could reach out to our Instagram page. I believe brother Joshua X is the one on top of it right about now. So he probably be the one getting back in contact with you. I could recommend texting me. I'm on the move a lot. So if I get a call, I might not answer it then and there, but I'll be sure to call you back. Do you have my number to put up there, or do I need to list it?
Yes, sir. You can tell it out to the audience for us.
Okay, so I get you. My number, I see Brother Khalid got some special treatment. I'm not upset, but my number is 229-288-0209, and that's 229-288-0209. And lastly, I'll give out my email address, which is Supreme Enterprises 47@gmail.com. And that's probably a better way to reach me, in all truth, because my emails stay on my screen a little longer than my messages tend to, oddly enough, with an iPhone. And like I said, if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, ideas, proposals, come and join on to your Black Nation. Come and join on to your, to your own. And that's all I probably have to say in regards to that.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you, Brother Brown. Thank you, Brother Khalid. Thank you to the Ministry of Science and Technology. Thank you to the Ministry of Trade and Commerce and all those who help you all in your efforts within the 9 ministries. So I'm thoroughly pleased with this show tonight. Do tune in if you want to the others this weekend. We have, let's see, on the leaderboard, we have on Saturday, Brother Diari and Brother Lakeem, intersection of science and business and food science. That's technically Brother Khalid there as well. Food science and healing ourselves. And that'll be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, we will have Sister Niali and Sister Sajda, inshallah. And Sister Joy will be the interview for that particular show. And that'll be 7:30 on Sunday. Young Black entrepreneur and computer science and social engineering. So again, we thank you all for tuning in tonight. Please do tune in for the rest of the mini-series this weekend, and we hope to find you on tomorrow. So we will close as we open, and that is in prayer. And so at this time, I will leave you as I came before you. As-Salaam Alaikum, dear brothers. Thank you again.
Alaikum Salam.
Alaikum Salam. Thank you.
Attention prayer. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, all praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, Master of the Day of Judgment in which we now live. Thee do we serve, and Thee do we beseech for Thine aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path, the path of those upon whom Thou hast bestowed favors, not the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after hearing Thine teachings. Ameen. As-Salamu Alaikum.